Hello, soul family. Been a long time since I've done a video, and just sitting under some red light therapy right now. Once again, moved, turned 56, and that was my 48th move. And so it's been a whirlwind of a year. I can't even remember the last video I did. And, life has been happening. Lots of revelations, lots of memories coming up. So I'm going to start with the latest one, and that was Sunday. And so there's a song called More, More, More. More, more, more. How do you like it? How do you like it? More, more, more. Growing up in the 70s, that was a pretty popular song. The group is called Andrea's True Connection. And the first time that I knew that was in 2017 on the way to Montana and doing my road trip and my whole experience about Montana, which everyone that's watched the video knows about. And so in listening to that song, I happened to be mopping the floor, and I was thinking, that's interesting. I remember singing that song as a kid, and like a lot. And I thought, oh, I had looked it up a long time ago. I think maybe in 2017, after I realized that it was Andrea's True Connection. And it's interesting because driving in the car on the way to Montana and kind of hashing out with my friend Desiree, who was on the road trip with me, and we were like, that's the group's name. I don't know if anybody knows that. Maybe some of you do, but I just only knew the song. And then it's even been played in commercials. And so I do remember looking it up, and it's about pornography. And I was like, wow, that's what the song is related to. So as I'm mopping, I'm thinking, and the song came on, and I was like, so interesting that this song is related to pornography. And so I stopped, and I'm figuring this just a lot of different thoughts coming through, and went talked to Lynn, my roommate, and I said, it's just really interesting, I go, that this song is related to pornography. And she's like, what? And I said, yeah. And she goes, you never told me that. And I go, I didn't? And she's like, no. And so she said, so this song is relatable to you? And I said, absolutely. I said, I remember singing it as a kid all the time. And I said, not knowing as a kid that it was related to that. And I said, but I didn't know the name of the group was Andrea's True Connection until 2017. And she's like, what? I'm thinking, we talk all the time. How did I not share this information with you? And without missing a beat, she goes, what did they call you? And when she asked me that question, the they are those that were involved with my being subjected to child pornography or child sex trafficking. And I got truth tears and I got goosebumps all over because I heard it loud and clear. It's Dawn. They called me Dawn. And I could barely get it out, and I said, they called me Dawn. And then I realized at that moment, that's why I hated my middle name. I hated it. I would not talk about it. I avoided it. I pretended it wasn't my middle name. I can remember the song Delta Dawn coming on and hating the song because it had my name in it. Um, and no relation to anything in that song. It just had my name, and anything that had Dawn. And so I went, oh my gosh, this makes sense. And I said, it's so interesting because some of my clients, or when I'm in session, people will call me Dawn without seeing that it says Andrea Dawn. And so I just was really amazed at how, what is it? It's 2025. We're in July. And how this all happened way back in the 70s. And here's a song coming on to remind me that Dawn is who I am. That Andrea Dawn, yes, is my name. And I'm changing that. And to have the business name Awakenings with Andrea Dawn is so much more than just a business name, or what is out there as far as my representation, my email, my website, right? awakeningswithandreadawn.com, my everything. And how simple it was to go, that's why I've hated my name. And now I love it, because it truly represents to me my knowing that I was given that name at the time I was born. And I remember, a long time ago, I had asked my dad, years and years ago, about why I was named Andrea Dawn. And my dad had said, well, I didn't get to be a part of your sister's name. And then he stopped and he goes, I think I was given your name. And he said, by who? I don't know, but I just remember that you had to have that name. And of course, knowing who I am today makes perfect sense. And yet at the same time, I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh. Truth after truth, truth tears, truth bumps, not goosebumps, they're truth bumps. This is who I am, is Andrea Dawn. And dawn the new day, a new day dawns. How many references about that word and then changing it into someone's name, and how impactful that is. What is the meaning of our names? And I know that Andrea is associated technically with Andromeda. I have been shown that, but I'm not from Andromeda. I'm not from that galaxy, but the name does go there. And in fact, last night I know I went to Andromeda, and I was, first time I've ever seen they were very small, little, and they were kind of bluish in color. I've never seen them before, but they were in my room and they were like, we're leaving. And I'm all, okay, just wait. Let me get in a comfortable position because when I leave my body becomes dead weight in the bed, and I'm not there. It's just my skin suit laying in the bed. And before I left, I got to see where we were going, and I saw the planets within Andromeda, and I'm like, oh, we're going there, because it's such a beautiful galaxy. The planets are beautiful, and I've only gotten to one, but I just know that all the planets there are just fantastic. So I'm sharing this because not thinking about your name, not saying, hey, look into your name, but there is truth in our name. There is a reason that we have the names we have. And the other part of this is just recently moving and unpacking, finding a notebook that I had written down that my other given name is Ali. It's really Eliezer, and I had been spelling it wrong this whole time. I had been spelling it Aliezar, and it's Aliezer, and that is in correlation with Azrael and Raziel. And so that's my other name. And so people are like, is that your higher self name? What is that? And I said, that's just my other name. That whether I'm talking to galactics, whether I'm on my star, I'm from the O star, I just know that's my name. And so this coming to, been spelling that wrong for some reason, but nothing's random and there's no mistakes. Realizing that I had, switched the E to an A, and now I'm back to the E, so Aliezer, and that my name is a mixture of Azrael and Raziel, and those two archangels are my two guardians. They've always been with me. I've always known this. As a kid, they've been a present. I didn't know their names. If I heard them, I don't remember them until 2017, and then I knew that. And so anyway, oh, and by the way, I did get those names from the one channeling that I did with someone else, and her name is Pamela Erlin. And the things that she said to me were, and that was, I had gotten that reading in 2017, were just amazing. And just rereading those notes and reminding myself of, there are other teachers and channelers out there like me, and I know there's no norm in what we do, and yet, it's expanding. We're growing. We are learning things that are beyond just this dimension, this timeline. There's so much more, and those of us that are ready will get those calls. We'll get those new names. We'll hear them. We'll have the dreams. We'll be shown. We will, ask for, why do I have this name? Why is this my given name? Why is this my human name? Because technically your last name is given to you. However, something instills in our parents to give us a new name. And so what does that mean? And if you don't get the answer, that's okay. Just put it out there, because I know, and that you will get an answer. And the other part is your, whatever you want to call it, your higher self name. Ask for that as well. Say, I'm ready to be shown what my higher self name is. Because I kept hearing it, and I knew it was Aliezer. And when I shared that with Pamela, and she got quiet on me, and then she rearranged the names, and she said, do you know Azrael? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's that whole story about Azrael and my bath. I'm like, big gigantic archangel basically puts its knee on me, and I've got my nose barely out of the water, and telling me I'm gonna be a part of helping souls cross over to the light. And I had no idea who he was, and just amazing experience. And then being a part with Raziel, and learning all about his presence and the energy that he brings to me. I'm like, I probably met Raziel, and even though I don't channel either one of them, I know they're here. They have a high vibration, and so that's my connection with them. That's just for me, but we all have that name that links us to something more. And so I encourage you, look for it, ask for it, even if it's letters and you don't even know how to pronounce it. Just let it roll and come to you in a way that is for you. And ask about your given name, your earthly name, because also that also plays a role. So those are my insights for today. I'm gonna start making these videos more often. I'm in a magical house again, and I call it the Healing House. And it's bringing me back to what I need to do, and that is do these shorts videos for people and share these crazy experiences that I've been having, and being somewhat, the word is triggered, but it was a healing trigger. So not all triggers are bad. Even though I had the truth tears and the truth bumps, I wasn't sad. I was grateful that I had the memory and that it put pieces of my puzzle together. So love to you all, and talk to you soon. All right, bye.